Hey everybody, it's Peter B. And this is my not going to the National purchases. I'm not going to the National, wish I was, but the money I would have spent there, I actually made a bunch of purchases this past month. And they all came in, so I want to show them to you. Now I am trying to get a Playing Days card of every pre-war Hall of Famer. And I did not have a Jake Beckley. So this is T206 Jake Beckley. And it is a beautiful card. I mean, who cares about rounded corners in T206s? Beautiful card. Piedmont 350 back. But absolutely stunning. So now I have a Playing Days card, a Hall of Famer, Jake Beckley. And I picked up another one, another T206, and that is Elmer Flick of the Cleveland Naps. And 150 Piedmont. Not as stunning as Jake Beckley, but very nice card, and it fills the role of owning an Elmer Flick Hall of Famer Playing Days card. I also added to my Cracker Jack collection, and I got a Bill Carrigan, Boston Red Sox catcher and later player manager. He was the manager when in the late teens and early teens when the Red Sox teams were winning World Series. And he was responsible when Babe Ruth got called up from the minors to make sure he stayed in line. And later, after Babe Ruth retired, he said the best manager he ever played for was Bill Carrigan. Once again, there's a number, if anyone cares, a stunner of a card. Absolutely beautiful card. Now it is a 1915 Cracker Jack. I know it says it there, but how can you tell? Well, if you flip it over, it's upside down. Plus, if you read in the bottom, it says about you can send away for the complete set. In 1914, you would flip it over, it'd be the correct way, and it wouldn't mention the mail-in special. And once again, this was the catcher, player manager of the Boston Red Sox. And I got the backup catcher, Forrest Cady of the Boston Red Sox. This one's not as in good shape, but these cards are expensive. Cracker Jacks, I mean, I don't know if the prices are going to come down because they are really expensive. But I just love the looks. This one's a 1. And once again, a 1915. I also got another cool card. It's a 1948 Japanese Menko card. And it's of Betty Boop. I love that she's in a catcher's uniform. You see the Japanese writing, 1948. And you flip it over, and it has some cartoon guys. But once again, another stunning card. And a couple of days ago, I did a 19th century video where I showed type cards from every type that I own. Well, I just got this one in today. Another trade card from 1880s. The Capadora cigar. Beautiful front. Back, it was in a scrapbook, which is why it has a beautiful front. But a beautiful card. They don't know the exact year, but it's the 1880s. Oh, and Mookie, if you're watching, nice pinhole, top and bottom. I also bought an item off Scott, Reindeer Studios. I bought a t-shirt. I also bought his Martin Diego card. Hall of Famer. Beautiful red background like the Cracker Jack. And this is just a beautiful piece of art. And the back shows Reindeer Studio. Beautiful card. He's selling these, and I do recommend you, I believe there's also any proceeds goes to a charity. I recommend you go over to Reindeer Studio, either in Etsy or he has his own website, and pick one of these cards up because they truly are stunning. Martin Diego. Now, I'm putting together the 1971 Red Sox. And I got most of them. There's a couple of high numbers that are just crazy money to buy. And I'm also missing Yaz, which is crazy money to buy. Well, let me show you who I got. Got rookie Bob Montgomery and Doug Griffin. Doug had a good career with the Red Sox, and Bob Montgomery, he was backup catcher to Carlton Fisk all those years. And he later went into the radio booth and was a commentator for the Red Sox games on TV 38. And anyone in New England knows what I'm talking about when I say TV 38. And I got Bobby Bolin, Mike Nagy, Gary Peters, Don Pavlicek, Mike Fiore, Phil Gagliano, Bill Lee, that's a nice card, Billy Canigliaro, Tony's brother. I'm going to do this card last. Ken Brett, that's George's older brother. He started out as a Red Sox. Matter of fact, I think he was 19. He pitched in the '67 World Series against the Cardinals. My man, Rico Pecticelli. John Kennedy. Red Sox team. Sonny Siebert. Ray Culp, he was the ace in the early 70s for the Red Sox. And Mike Andrews. Now, you might notice something. Mike Andrews is wearing a Red Sox uniform, and it says White Sox. And then it says recently traded to White Sox. And if anyone who owns 1971 Topps, they'll say, hey, why is that card different? Mine's not like that. Well, I actually own the 1971 Topps set. So the reason I'm collecting these is because they're the 1971 OPG. Cool backs. I love these backs much better than the top back. So there's Mike Andrews, Ray Culp, Sonny Siebert, the team, John Kennedy, Rico, Ken Brett, Billy Canigliaro, Spaceman Bill Lee, Phil Gagliano, Mike Fiore, Don Pavlicek, Gary Peters, Mike Nagy, Bobby Bolin, and rookies. So I'm trying to get the Red Sox team set in 1971 OPC. And that is why those high number cards are very expensive, and also why the Yaz card, who also is a high number card, is expensive. So I hope to finish that hopefully this year. The Yaz, like I said, is very expensive. Now, the last thing I want to show you, and these are great to collect if you're into pre-war. They started in the 1800s and went up through the 20s, maybe even the 30s. And I don't have the cover, but this is the cover. And it's the Spalding's Guide on How to Play Baseball. Not to be confused with the Spalding Guide, which keeps the records of the year before, which are also great. I have many of those. And that's how I learn about a lot of these guys on T206 cards. But this is much more rare. This came out in 1910, and I actually owned a 1910 Spalding record guide. But like I said, this is the Spalding How to Play guide. They made little ones, and I actually, earlier, I showed you the How to Play Third Base guide. Well, this one, they kind of put it all together. And like I said, it's very, very rare. And the only reason I can afford it, because it had no front or back covers. The guy did photocopy one. He got it off the internet. And he included it, but that's what it looked like. So let me show you the guide and why this is a very good piece of memorabilia. And you guys should think about collecting these if you're into the pre-war, early pre-war. So this would be page 1, about the Spalding Athletic Library. And there's Mr. Spalding right there. And the back. Now these are cool. They show you the old-timey spikes. And I hope this is coming on my phone. It's very washed out, but hopefully, because the sun's very bright, hopefully you guys are seeing a good picture. I love all these ads. There's a mask. There's Roger Brashanahan wearing the Spalding leg guards, and he actually invented leg guards. Oh! What the old gloves look like. First base mitts, catcher mitts, bats. The balls. Ad with many Hall of Famers. And then it gets into rules. And short talks on a variety of baseball topics. Group of the world's champions. Pittsburgh was the world champion. So there's Wagner from 1909. There's Johnny Evers. Brashanahan again. Scenes from the World Series. There's the Detroit team warming up before the series. Frank Chance. So these pictures are gorgeous. Kling of the Cubs, the catcher, and the guy sliding in is Ty Cobb. Cool photo, never seen that one before. And we got Wagner and Fred Clark, who's also a Hall of Famer. And that's a famous photo. Cobb and Wagner shaking hands before the series. Wee Willie Killer, Huey Jennings. Like I said, I hope these are in focus, and I hope they're coming up good. Arthur Devlin, Honest Wagner. That's a cool photo too. If you guys can see this, look at his mouth. Anticipating the ball. Larry Doyle, Nap LaJoy, Lajoie, Frank Chance again. Bunch of players. Roger Bershanahan again. And I mean, Mordecai Brown, Christy Mathewson. And then it explains how to pitch. It shows different ways to hold the ball. And there's the table of contents in case you're interested. That was done in 1910. See, it says all about the official annuals. So I think these are great. Like I said, this one doesn't have the cover, but I got a photocopy. And if it did have the cover, I wouldn't be able to buy it. It'd be too expensive. So look into these. The how to play is, like I said, rare. And this one's even more rare. But even the guides. Get like a 1910 guide that's like smack in the middle of the T206s. And just look it over. Look at the players. Look at the teams. It shows all the minor league teams. So anyways, I've gone way too far. I wish everyone who is going to the National a great time. And like I said, please take videos. I will be watching. And those like me, stuck at home, not going to the National, well, you can watch along with me. Thank you everybody for letting me show you my not going to the National pickups. Have a great day.